Hello everybody, we're going to do a little video here to show you how to establish communications with an Allen Bradley PLC. To do that, we use Linx Classic. This is the driver or the software that we use to establish communication. This is what it'll look like on your desktop. If you can't find it on your desktop, you can come down here and come down to Rockwell software, and it'll be inside this folder. It'll say Linx Classic, and you can just right click that and go to more and send that to the desktop if you don't already have it on the desktop. So for our purposes, we're going to consider that this software is already on the desktop of this video, and this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to close this out and we're going to open up Linx Classic. So here on my desktop, right here is the Linx Classic. When I open it up, this is what it's going to look like. So right here up in the top left corner, this little icon is RS-Who. So, and that's what we're looking at right now. So this is showing us what drivers we have right now. So the only one we're seeing is Ethernet, and I'm not connected to PLC with Ethernet right now, so we don't have the driver that I need to communicate with the Micrologix 1100 Series B PLC that I'm hooked up to in the lab right now. So what I'm going to do is come here to Communications and go to Configure Drivers. We don't have any drivers in here to choose from, so we're going to configure a new one. Now, our Micrologix 1100 Series B PLCs we use on our trainers, some of our trainers, uses a RS-232 DF1 device to communicate with. That's the cable we're going to use. So that's the driver, that's the type of driver we're going to use, and we're going to click Add New. When it comes up, it comes up by default as Allen Bradley DF1-1. If you have multiple drivers, the next one would say Allen Bradley DF1-2, so on and so forth. You could name this driver if you wanted to. You could name it, PLC Lab Driver 1, whatever you want. I always just go ahead and leave it the default, ABDF1-1. But you can do what you want to with that situation. So when this opens up, you notice the first thing you have is COM port. So that is what communication port on your laptop are you communicating with. And device, what device are you trying to communicate with? On this, we're always going to use SLC channel 0. That's for SLC 500 channel 0. And we have those SLC 500 PLCs as well, so remember that. Micrologix or panel view. So that's the devices we're going to be talking to. So the next thing we're going to do is hit Auto Configure. Now it says unable to open the specific COM port for configuration testing. The reason it said that is we're on COM1. Well, COM1 must not be the communication port that we're hooked to on my laptop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to try to find the control panel. I'm going to open that up, and we want to go to Hardware and Sound, Device Manager. So whenever we pull up our Device Manager, we're going to go down here to Ports and Comms. Right here, this key span USB serial port, that is the cable that we're using to communicate with the PLC. And it shows that we're connected into COM4 on the laptop. So that's all the information we need there. We can go ahead and close that back out. We're going to change this to COM4. So now when we go down here into our auto configuration, we have auto configuration successful. So we can OK. Now it shows that we're running with this driver. We can close that out. Now if you'll look up here in our window, we have our workstation, that's our computer, and here's the two drivers we have. We already know that we're not using an Ethernet driver, So we're going to come down here and we're going to click this little drop down for Allen Bradley DF1 Data Highway 485. That's what DH485 stands for, Data Highway. So as you can see here, this shows our PLC, our PC, Workstation 0 is our PC, and our 01 Micrologix 1100 is the PLC that we're communicating with. So now that that's showing up like that, that tells me that we have established a communication between the PC and the PLC. Now I'm going to turn the power off on this PLC to show you what it would look like if we do not establish that communication. I've disconnected the power from the PLC. Now you see this red X. That red X indicates that the driver's there. We have at one point established communication, but right now we don't have any kind of communication with this PLC. The PLC has to have power for you to be able to establish communication. I'm going to turn the power back on, and it should pop back up, and the X should go away. If not, then we may have to delete this driver and start all over, but it went away, so we're in pretty good shape. So technically I could probably close out this, but in the past I have had issues where we still couldn't communicate in the RS Logix software, and I had to go back to Linx and redo the driver or something like that. So I'm going to leave this up, just going to minimize it. The next thing I want to do is go over here and open up your RS Logix 500. Now once we get that fully opened, we're going to go here to Communications, System Communications. And now this looks similar to what we was looking at a minute ago. Allen Bradley DF1-1. We can come in here and see our PLC here. So in the situation that I connected to this PLC, and maybe I want to pull the information from the PLC to my laptop. So I'm going to click this 01 right here. That's representing our PLC. And I'm going to click Upload. Upload brings the information from the PLC to your laptop. So now it says that the program that's on the PLC does not match any program that I have stored on my laptop. So what does it want us to do? Does it want us to create a new file? And that's what we're going to do. So it says, do I want to go online? Yes, I want to go online. Now I'm online with this PLC. It shows the green, that shows we're online. So input number 2 is green. Input number 1 is not. 2 being green just means that that statement's true, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in class. And this one here not being green, that means that that statement's false. But for this purpose of this video, we have went through, we established communication with the PLC through RS Linx, and then we came into RS Logix 500 and actually pulled the information from the PLC to the computer. Now, what is the situation that we would, in the situation that we didn't want to pull that computer or that program from the computer, what would we do in that situation? And here's what we would do there. If we came in, and this is what RS Logix 500 is going to look like whenever we just start from scratch, we're going to come in here and we're going to open up a new program, right? So I know this is a Micrologix 1100 Series B that I'm wanting to program to. I'm going to open that up. Now we can write a program. Let's say we wanted to come in here and write a little small program that says when this input comes on, this output comes on, right? So we're going to call this input 0, and we're going to call this output 0. And I know we don't know how to program yet. I'm just doing this just to show you how we would communicate with this PLC without uploading a program. So we're going to come in here to Communications, Communications, and we're going to communicate with this thing, but we're not going to hit upload or download or any of that. We're just going to hit OK. So now we've got our little program here. I want to download that program. I'm going to go over here and say download, and we're going to call this program test. Save it. It says, do you want to download this program to Micrologic Series B using the driver Allen Bradley DF1? And we're going to say yes. Processor is in remote run mode. Processor must be switched to program mode. Continue, yes. So now we're downloading our program. We're going to hit apply. Okay. Change to run mode. Yes, we want to go to run mode. Want to go online? Yes. So now we've just downloaded that program. The program that was in the PLC that we pulled out is now gone. The program that we created is now downloaded into that PLC. So if I reach over right now and hit input 0 on the trainer, we turn on output 0. Let off of it, output 0 goes off. So we've established communication. We uploaded from the PLC to the computer, and we created a program and downloaded that to the PLC. This is a demonstration meant to show you how to establish communication before we ever come into the lab. Watch this video, take notes over this video, go back if you don't fully understand it, kind of watch it again. That way when we come to the lab next week, we will fully understand how to establish communication with the PLC, and we'll be able to take off running. Thanks everybody, and hope to see you next week.